Hello, dear students. Welcome back for the another session of discussion for the subject pharmacy practice, in which we are discussing the topic investigational use of drugs. A short recap what we have studied in this. Okay. First of all, we have gone through the definition of the investigational drugs. These are nothing but the drugs or compounds, mixtures might be, which are not been released or approved by different legal authorities like FDA for general uses in any country. Okay, means they are not given actual permission. They might be having the potency. They are said to be considered or being considered for use in humans for treatment of diseases, but not yet has received any approval, okay, by any legal authority. They are called as investigational use drugs. We also covered the principle involved in this investigational drugs in hospital. Okay, any hospital or the healthcare institution where the clinical trials or the which are primary centers for conducting such studies of these investigational drugs are called as uh, the study centers, healthcare centers. Okay, they must have ensure the rules and regulations, the policies, procedures for proper utilization or proper use of this drug. Okay, they should establish a procedure, and exactly the same procedure should be followed as per the principle. Further, the basic principles also we have discussed. Okay, in that there are different points. Like in first, we have seen that uh, institutions must assure the studies which are conducted on humans. They should be having safeguards towards the institution or hospital itself, their staff, the whole scientific integrity involved in the study, okay, as well as importantly for the patient, that safeguard should be assured by the institution. Okay, then secondly, uh, the studies also must meet the all legal, ethical, as well as the scientific standards, okay, which are uh, conducted by the different qualified investigators. Then next principle says that all the patients who are participating in this studies of investigational drugs, they should sign the agreement or consent form freely. Okay, and they should be given the detailed information about all the things which are going to be conducted on the patients, the risks, the benefits associated with the studies. Okay, that is all the guidelines are necessary to be told to the patients. The next principle is the uh, whoever is the main or chief investigator, who is called as principal investigator, he is said to be the responsible for maintaining the case report forms. Okay, and if they are properly maintained, they whenever they are required, they should be supplied to the drug sponsor institutions or FDA, okay, as and when needed. Then last principle we have seen is the proper packaging, labeling, sufficient supply, storage condition, preparation of dosage. All these things should be done properly by the institution drug control system. Further, the nursing staff should be informed about all these things, okay, about their this inventory as well as the control system. Then also we have started the classification of investigational drugs. As per this, there are three classes. Class means there are actually two classification types of classification. In that first we have covered, according to that first classification, there are under which are there are three subgroups, sorry, four subgroups are there: class A, B, C and D. Okay, class A drugs are the drugs which are said to be the in preliminary experimental stage. Okay, and they are restricted, means their use only done of the by only the principal investigator. Second category, the drugs which are passed through the preliminary research stage. Okay, and the supply of such drugs to the department is only upon the written prescription or permission of this principal investigator. Okay, class C drugs, these are approved by the uh, USPNF or might be any federal FDA for commercial distribution. Okay, and these drugs may be used within the hospital or in the clinics after specific procedures which were followed over it. Okay, and lastly the D class. Okay, the drugs which are the preparations which have been accepted by the hospital and listed even in the hospital formulary. Okay, up to here we have studied in last session. Now another second type of classification of the investigational drugs is there are further three categories are there. Okay, as per it, first is general. Okay, second conditional, and third is investigational. Again, as per the name you can say the general drugs means the drugs which are approved by FDA. Okay, and which are recommended as essential, they are needed for good patient care. Okay, the patient care, if they are required a good treatment. Okay, such drugs which are involved and approved by the FDA, and they are having well established uses, means they are already in the market from uh, sufficient time, and they have shown their proper effectiveness after used in human beings. Okay, once they are accepted, they may be prescribed by all the members of the attending as well as the staff. House staff means attending means the doctors who are not the regular staff. Okay, the full-time staff of the hospital. Okay, they are called as attending staff, and house staff means who are actually uh, appointed or working in the hospital regularly. So all such drugs, okay, which are approved by FDA and having established uses are under this first category called as general drugs. Okay, second is conditional drugs. These are specific drugs or certain drugs which are approved for specific period, that is conditional period of trial only. Okay, the drugs which is approved by FDA for general use, definitely which is under this, but what it is there, the committee wishes to evaluate for only given period before its final consideration for using in general public. Okay, and may be prescribed by the all members of the attending as well as house staff. Means these all drugs are definitely approved by the FDA for general use, but the committee, okay, says that, means they think that it is needed to be evaluated for again specific period of time before final consideration in general use. Okay, hence the word conditionally that is there. And thirdly, definitely what we are concerned about it in this topic actually is the investigational drugs. Okay, the drugs which are not approved by FDA, as we have seen, FDA or any legal authority for use, okay, other than controlled clinical studies or settings, but must be approved by the committee that is called as research advisory committee. Okay, there is a specific protocol of any study involved. Such drugs must be submitted to the pharmacy department, okay, because you need to know which are such drugs. Okay, means these categories should be uh, known to all pharmacy departments or pharmacy stores, that which drug is falling under which category, whether it should be allowed to be permitted, okay, allowed to be, sorry, allowed to be used in the general patients of the hospital, should be known. Okay, and for that any protocol of the study should be submitted to the pharmacy. Okay, next point is control of investigational use drugs. In this point, all the investigational drugs should be registered with the PTC, okay, that is Pharmacy and Therapeutic Committee. Okay, registration we have already discussed what is about the topic Pharmacy and Therapeutic Committee. It is having some registration needed for every drug. Okay, even this investigational drug also needed to be registered. Okay, it can be achieved or accomplished by a simple letter. Okay, need who that principal investigator has to submit a letter to this Pharmacy and Therapeutic Committee, which provides detailed information of the drug. Okay, like what is the information? See, many things are there actually needed to be put in the application or in the letter to the uh, Pharmacy and Therapeutic Committee for registering it. See, first is the uh, new drug number. Okay, there is a specific number which is called as for new drugs, because all these investigational drugs are novel. Okay, new, so they are given a specific number. Every drug is given a specific number before coming into market. Definitely after coming into market they gets their exact chemical name. Okay, or after manufacturing again they get their so called as brand names. Okay, but here these investigational drugs are having name number. Okay, that is called as new drug number. Okay, generic name of the same, manufacturer name of the drug. Okay, chemical name, what it is there, detail IUPAC nomenclature, if any proprietary name is there. Okay, the general chemistry, then detail pharmacology toxicology of the drug, dose ranges, mode of administration, antidote, again very important, because if any problem toxicity, okay, arises, how it can be treated should be mentioned itself in it, and what is its exact therapeutic use, in which disease for treatment of what you can give this drug. So this should be mentioned in this letter for getting registration the drug in the as per Pharmacy and Therapeutic Committee. Many pharmacists have developed various forms, okay, which may be used to circulate the information just we have discussed on the investigational use of drugs to all the staff as well as all the nurses working in the hospital. Okay, so there are many formats has been developed by the pharmacist as per the hospital which they are attached with. Okay, and they have gathered the information, and after gathering it they have circulated that information to all the doctors and nurses, the medical staff, for their information or for their knowledge, because they are actually, means doctors and nurses are actually using these drugs for treatment of the diseases in the patients for that particular hospital. The pharmacist is the responsible person for developing different forms. So which are different forms? Definitely which are as per the types of medical staff which is there. First is physician data sheet on investigational drug, nurse data sheet, and also the pharmacist data sheet for all the investigational drugs which are used in the specific hospital. So let us see in detail about all individually what these data sheets are and what the information they are having in it. First, the physician data sheet, it is having the name of investigational drug, manufacturer or other source from where it has been brought, okay, strength and dosage form of the investigational drug, strength, there is concentration, then how much quantity or amount received, on which what date it has been received, okay, then control number, batch number, that is all details should be maintained or written on the physician data sheet. Pharmacological and therapeutic properties of the drugs along with their dosage and precautionary measures or precautions to be mentioned for their uses in the patients, then arrangement which have made for its administration, okay, how the drugs can be administered, what sort of preparation has been done by the physician, okay, and lastly the signature of the investigator. So that is the physician data sheet, okay. So the other two, that is nurse data sheet and pharmacist data sheets, were also having many things common in that, okay, instead of certain changes. See, like nurse data sheet, this is also having name of investigational drug, okay, also having the manufacturer, also having strength and form of the investigational drug, okay, amount received and date, control, it is not there, while pharmacology, therapeutic properties, dosage, precautions to be observed, these are there, okay, arrangement same for administration, okay. So many things are similar as that of the physician data sheet, but something different, it is the you can say the signature of chief pharmacist is there, okay. While in the pharmacist data sheet you will also have certain similar information mentioned, like name of investigational drug, manufacturer who is there, the date, while these things, these are different, the principal or chief investigator, the physician name, and importantly the prescription for of the patient, okay, the patient RX, which is called as all the medicines or medicaments which are needed to be given for that particular patient, as to be mentioned in this pharmacist data sheet. Next point is the identification of investigational use drugs. And this, whenever class A and class B drugs are dispensed, okay, what are class A and class B drugs? Just I have repeated, class A drugs are the drugs which are in preliminary experimental stage, okay, while class B drugs are which have passed the preliminary experimental stage, okay. When these drugs are dispensed from pharmacy department, okay, they should be labeled in a specific manner so that they can easily differentiated from other drugs which are under routine prescription, okay, which are mentioned in regular prescriptions. Very important thing, they needed to be differentiated properly, they should be kept, okay, apart from the regular drugs. In some specific hospital, the investigational use drugs are having labels, okay, printed on the white paper stock itself in red ink. Okay, red color generally the name of the drugs might be mentioned, or some information in red ink has been printed over the white paper, and itself in the label it is stick. Certain additional information which is also commonly required about the patients, about the drugs which are used in different patients, like patient's name on which it has been administered, the detailed data about it, okay, then prescription number, name of the physician or doctor who is engaged with the treatment, okay, direction of use, how it has been used for treatment of the disease, and some area or space is always necessary to be provided to write down the research drug number. Okay, these double set of numbers provides two-way control relative to the identity of the product dispensed. Okay, it becomes more easier to have a proper control over use of these investigational use drugs, because okay, just I told, they have not actually given the permission or approval, so with precaution they have to be used. And if they are having these double sets of numbers, okay, research number which is there, and the number I told, that is details which are there, like new drug number, okay, if such numbers are there, it becomes easy to have a specific control over their uses. Next point, role of pharmacist in clinical evaluation of a drug. Okay, once the pharmacologist has demonstrated a new compound to be effective and safe in the animal test, clinical trials are always initiated. Okay, you know about this drug discovery steps. Okay, pharmacologist who is if is a researcher, okay, if this is that any new compound what they have found is effective and safe in animal stage, that is the preliminary stages, okay, or pre-clinical trials, okay, they are always initiated or they are approved to go for clinical trials. And two ways are there, two steps by which these clinical trials can be done, like preliminary and extended. Okay, so these trials are probably proceeded in two steps. During the first preliminary stage, the principal investigator uh, cautiously administered the drugs. Cautiously means carefully, okay, under whose observation the administration is done. Okay, administration of medicine, okay, dosing of the medicine is done, uh, to whom, definitely with a specific or limited number of patient, okay, or selected patient, uh, the the dosings were given, and whatever results, whatever observations are there, they are closely noted down by the principal investigator. Okay, after gaining or getting different detailed experience about the results of the medicine, okay, what if they are sufficiently positive results are there, and if the principal investigator finds the confidence in its use. Okay, that investigator is generally ready to conduct further the second stage called as extended comprehensive evaluation for its efficacy testing. Okay, extended means further you can use it in different more number of patients, and during this second stage, okay, extended studies, the pharmacist can play another important role. Okay, even though is not a principal investigator, sometimes generally those are the physicians principal investigator, but the pharmacist can play a good role by assisting it in the development of some certain protocol. Okay, definitely, because we are means the pharmacists are more knowledgeable about the drug administration of developing different protocols, how the things can be done. Okay, also you can control the double blind study. Okay, we know about this double blind study means the studies in which both the drug, which is the sample or experimental drug, which is called as, okay, along with placebo is given to the patient. Okay, placebo is false drugs which is having similar dosage form, similar appearance. Okay, but not having the active chemical constants in it. Okay, or active drugs are not there in it, so called as double blind study, and this is been developed by the pharmacist, and sometimes it is not provided the information to patient, okay, neither to patient nor to the doctors about which patient has administered the placebo and which patient has provided the potent drug. Then pharmacist is generally acting as an impartial collaborator. Okay, impartial means you can say neutral. Okay, fair. Okay, unbiased collaborator. Okay, collaborator means co-worker or colleague or partner. Okay, and for with whom it is there. Okay, with the so called as principal investigator, the pharmacist can be working with. Okay, and by maintaining all the records and codes of double blind studies, okay, it will afford the investigators the advantage of having the code information available 24 by 7. See, because of the detailed information available, okay, the pharmacist who is having these all the records of the studies, okay, double blind studies, it is said to be the advantage. Okay, because whenever it is needed, they can be supplied or can be easily accessed. Then ability to break the code for an individual patient without exposing the reminder study, it is also possible. Okay, again said to be the advantages, because the pharmacist has the knowledge or having the details, okay, observations or record that what which patient has given what drug, okay, placebo or original drug, and they have given the code. So whenever it is there the needed, it can be uh, break broke have the specification that these drugs administered to these particular patient, and they can be uh, separated, okay, if any problem arises, and the remaining study will not be hampered. Okay, it will be continuously uh, done, and they can compile and maintain the all information about the study, okay, which is also the part of the or role of the pharmacist itself. Okay, so still some points are remaining uh, in this topic, okay, that we'll be discussing in our next lecture. Thank you.